대표적인 명소죠. 오늘은 LA 카운티 박물관 라크마의 마이클 고벤 관장님과 다양한 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. Director Goben, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for agreeing for the interview.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So let's get started. The first question is about the new design, the Lacma. So the new design for Lacma is on its way. However, criticism about the high cost and 10% reduction on the building size remains a little unpopular. What would you say to your critics?
Well, actually, the size is an incorrect issue. It turns out, when you really measure it, it's very close to the existing size, and that was always the plan. In fact, we couldn't really build more because that would have changed the environmental impacts. So what we did was we built our additions first. We added 100,000 square feet, 10,000 square meters of space in the two buildings, the Broad Contemporary Art Museum and the Resnick Pavilion. And then the idea has been to replace these buildings. So that was always the plan, and that's what we're doing.
And when is the reopening date for them?
So we plan to start construction in late fall of this year. 2019, and we intend to be open at the beginning of 2024. And that's also timed with the opening of the metro stop, the underground rail. So that will open in 2023, and it will make it very easy for everyone to come to Lacma by rail as well as by car.
Oh, so more popular for
It'll be great for everyone.
Okay. Is there any plan, do you have any plan to showcase Korean art galleries in other sites maybe?
Definitely, right now. Today, this morning, we're opening a beautiful exhibition of Korean calligraphy. This is the first exhibition in the United States ever of Korean calligraphy, and the exhibition will run through the entire summer. And it's a groundbreaking show with a huge catalog and should draw a large number of people, especially, we hope, Koreans who live in Los Angeles. So that's really exciting. And before we open, we also have planned a big show of contemporary Korean art. And then in the middle, we have several exhibitions that will showcase Korean art as part of larger shows. For example, we have an exhibition of our collection of Buddhist art across all of Asia, which features a very large segment of Korean art. So part of the idea is to show Korean art within the context of global art history. And that's what we'll be able to do regularly. Because we have only half the space while we're closed, maybe not every single day will be a work of Korean art, but we're going to try.
That's very good to hear because I didn't know about the details. And
Yeah, we have the largest commitment to Korean art of any large art museum in the United States, and that will never change.
Have you been to Korea by chance?
Many times. I go to Korea probably twice a year. I'm going again in the fall. And I spend a lot of time there. I have a lot of friends, artists, architects. We have a huge partnership with Hyundai Motor Company. It's one of our largest corporate partnerships, and they have funded Korean scholarship, contemporary art, art and technology. So through that partnership, we've made many, many friends.
Wow, twice a year. You go more often than I go.
I do love the food. I love the culture. It's great to go to Korea.
Great to hear.
I'll be there in the fall.
Oh, okay. So, like I said before, we asked our viewers to suggest any question, and the following question was chosen. So the question is, how much does it cost to keep the lights on for the Lacma's Urban Light?
Almost zero.
Wow.
Because we have 1,000 square meters of solar panels right outside on the entry pavilion.
Okay.
And last year, with the support of the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation and the support of Robert Iger and Willow Bay, who are sponsors. He's the head of Disney Corporation. The Urban Light was relamped with LED lights. So they use very little electricity, and all of that electricity is taken care of in the solar panels.
Wow, 100%.
I think it's 98%. So in the summer, it's more than enough, and in the winter, it's not quite enough, but it's pretty close.
Wow, that's like, I never thought of that answer. I thought it'll cost tremendous money.
Well, it did. It did cost more before last year, for its 10th anniversary 2 years ago. It was very interesting. Those are historic lights, and they were designed around the light bulb. The first ones were designed around a flame. They were called arc lamps, and you had to move the wick, like in a candle, up to light them. And then the lamps of the 30s had electric light, but the glass was blown around the bulb. So you can't just put any LED light in there because it would ruin the historical shape. So we worked with the city of Los Angeles and with private companies to design an LED light bulb that fit the shape of the historic light. And so no one can tell the difference.
Wow, big secret there.
So it's very inexpensive now, and also we don't have to change light bulbs.
For
decades.
wow, okay. That is very cool. But I heard that is actually an artwork, so we're not supposed to take pictures there, right?
Of Urban Light? No, everyone takes pictures there.
Really? Oh, I thought it was like rights issue.
No. Well, no. In fact, Urban Light is one of the most photographed objects in Los Angeles. It is, we actually are the 5th most Instagrammed museum in the world.
Wow.
In part because everyone loves to take pictures at Levitated Mass, Urban Light, the Palm Gardens. And you, on any given day, especially around this time of year, you'll find that there are a lot of engagement photos, particularly of Korean families, because they're in the neighborhood, and quinceañeros of Latin American families. There are rock music videos that are filmed at night here, or I saw 2 album covers recently that used the image of Urban Light.
It is a symbol of LA.
It is now. Actually, in the National Conference football game, when they shifted the camera to LA, they had a picture of Urban Light. And you know, these are the lamps of all the different cities in LA. LA is made up of many different individual cities. And in the 1920s and 30s, each city designed their own light. So they were very specific, street lights for their own neighborhoods. And so what Chris Burden, the artist, did is he gathered, historically, those lights and put them together in the shape of a temple. So it's kind of the gathering of all the cities of Los Angeles into a central place. It is. It's an image of LA.
Wow. Did you know it'll get this popular when you first...
So I made a lot of changes when I came to Los Angeles very quickly because they had started work on a plan. And I changed the plan to replace the building, which was going to be up front, with an artwork, because I wanted an artwork to represent the museum, not a building.
Wow.
And then I saw this work that Chris Burden was working on, and the city of Vienna wanted to buy it because they thought they would put it through the park. It was very beautiful. But they're LA street lamps. So I said to the artist, you cannot sell it to Vienna. You need to give me time to raise the money. And we'll put them out front, was the discussion. So that's what happened. And we got a beautiful grant to acquire them and to site them out front. And I thought it was a wonderful, welcoming gesture. It shows life at the museum all the time. And there's a little detail that is my favorite, is Chris Burden arranged the lamps in rows because they were made to look like columns from a Greek or Roman temple. You walk through them like a colonnade. But he opened the center aisle just wide enough for 2 people to walk through. And so it's a very romantic piece as well, because you will see people walking through that entrance together. So,
intentionally, but wow.
Yeah, he made a little more space so that it would have a sense of ceremony for 2 people to walk through together and share the experience. So it's a very public piece. It stands for the whole city of Los Angeles. It's a kind of stand-in for the diversity of Los Angeles, and yet it's a very personal and intimate piece. And it's an artwork that you can touch. I will go out there and sometimes see someone hugging a lamp and making a picture. So I love that idea that it's intimate as well as public.
Beautiful. You made a beautiful choice. That's like, okay, and is it going to stay for
Urban Light will stay as long as it can stay. We didn't make the commitment originally to be permanent because we just wanted to put it up. And I don't think the public would let me take it down. So that's the best thing when the public owns it and they feel connected to it.
Do you have any last words to Korean American community? You can say whatever you want. You can say Korean words if you have any.
Well, I think that we're a community here of all people. And when I'm in Korea, I love to be immersed deeply in Korean society and culture. And I love when I'm in Los Angeles to feel the intensity of that culture in a mix of other cultures. Roy Choi, the famous chef, has the Kogi taco truck, which is a fusion of Korean and Mexican food, sharing spice. And I think that's sort of a beautiful image of Los Angeles, to share the spice that connects two of these cultures across the ocean and is something comforting and wonderful as food. So I think that this is a gathering place, and I want to make this place as exciting and comfortable for Koreans as part of a global society as possible. 감사합니다.
지금까지 마이클 고벤 라크마 관장님과 이야기 나눠봤습니다.